it's Teacher Carrie here, and I'm back with another ManyCam tutorial. Today I want to show you how you can create picture-in-picture, or as I like to call it, tiny teacher mode using ManyCam. No, this video has not been sponsored by any of the things we're going to be talking about today, so hashtag not sponsored, and let's jump right into it. First, let me just show you what I mean by picture-in-picture, or tiny teacher mode. You can see here that my background is rather large and I'm rather small on the screen. I use this in particular when I want the student to focus more on the background than they are on me, but I still want them to be able to see me as we are talking and going through the lesson. So in this particular preset here, I have created myself a little chalkboard so that I can write to my students and they can read it back to me. But they can also see me in case they need any help with the reading, or maybe I need to use some TPR to help them get through the sentences that I type to them. So this is rather handy to have me small on the screen, and of course I can still pick myself up and move me anywhere I want to go. I also use this when I am displaying my Google Slide rewards. This particular reward was created by Beth, Pender, and I found it using the Slidekick web app. Now this is specific to VIP Kid. You do need to be a VIP Kid teacher in order to use these particular Google Slide rewards. And if you are a VIP Kid teacher, of course head over to the official Google Slides Facebook group. I'll leave a link in the description. That will help get you started. You want to keep an eye out for the announcement sections. That's where they house all the tutorials on how to use these Google Slides. But so what I can do from here, if I want to talk about horns with my student, if I keep myself in this position, of course I'm blocking the picture. So it's really helpful to have myself sort of small, and then I can move myself out of the way. So on this slide, I might ask my student, what animal has horns? Or how many horns does a bull have? So it's really handy to be able to pick myself up and move around using those Google Slides. And if I was full size, you wouldn't be able to see as much of the background. So again, this for me is helping my student focus more on the larger background and less on me in particular. So let's jump over to my ManyCam tutorial screen for today and take a quick tour of what we have here. Of course, below me are my video presets, and off to my right hand side this is the main ManyCam menu, and then I have something special hiding right here. We'll talk about that in a minute. So when we want to make ourselves small on the screen so that our students focus more on the background, it's very simple to do, but we need to understand how the layers work in ManyCam. So when you start a new preset, you're probably used to selecting your camera and making yourself on the screen. But of course that will make you take up most of the space. So really we want to think about this in reverse. We actually want to get our background situated before adding our tiny selves onto the screen. So to do that, there are a few different options. If you have found a static image that you want to display as your background, something that doesn't move, all you need to do is click this little plus button. And then you can go to, let me just make sure I'm on the right preset to show you this. There we go. You can go to images and videos. It's sort of getting cut off there. Let me just scoot this up. Images and videos right here. And that will bring you up your selection of all of your saved images. Let's choose this little space image for right now. And on my new preset that I just created, it's going to show my space. This little gray area below here is just an extended view of my computer desktop, so I can show you the buttons that I'm pressing. So once I get my background situated just with that static image there, or if I wanted to show a Google Slide reward, what I would do for that is again just click on my plus button, but this time I'm going to want to go to desktop and then custom area. And again, let me just situate my boxes here so that you can see the buttons that we're pressing. Custom area, and that is going to bring you up a little dotted line box. It's probably going to be floating somewhere on the upper left-hand corner of your computer screen. You can just grab it and drag it over the area that you want to display. And of course, you might have to resize it to make everything fit. So now it's displaying my Google Slides from my desktop. Now that same principle of using a custom desktop area will work for anything that you want to show that is being housed currently on your computer desktop. So again, you can either just select an image or video from your little menu with your plus button, or you can select a custom desktop area and drag it where you need it to be. Now the next step is to add ourselves onto the screen. And in order to do that, we want to add a new layer. We don't want to occupy the same space as our background. Now, of course, I use a green screen, but this technique will work if you're not using a green screen, and we'll talk about the differences between the two here in a second. So when I'm ready to add myself sort of tiny on the screen, let's use this little space area here. What we're going to do, and I can do it just from this preset view here, I don't actually need to click into that slide. I can just right click over my preset, and then I'm going to select Add New Layer. You can see it right here. And then if I go back to my little view of everything, there we go, you can see there's a little black box floating on that screen. So let's jump over there, and just for a second you won't be able to see me while I'm talking. So you can see we've got our little black box, and I can move it anywhere I want to be. And to get myself in this box, I'm just going to press the plus button in the center, select my camera, and now I am on the screen. So if you don't currently use a green screen, this is what it will look like, of course with whatever physical background you have. And if you do use a green screen, you can go ahead and make yourself transparent here so that it's showing all of the background. So I'm just going to follow the steps I normally take to turn on my chroma key and then select a transparent background and get rid of my green screen so that you can see space all behind me. And of course, I'm using all royalty-free images with this. Now, I do notice also a little bit above and below me, there are some black lines. That's because the image that I chose is sort of rectangular and my video is sort of square. So what I can do for that is just go up to the upper right-hand corner. There's a little blue icon with a white lock in it. I'm just going to unlock that layer and go up to the top and zoom in until I have it filling the entire screen. Okay, so now that everything is good, again, I can move myself anywhere I want to be. So it's sort of fun, especially if we're talking about space, to do some things with our little video picture-in-picture here. And let's go back to my tutorial screen so I can show you how you can flip yourself upside down and float in space. So first, let me just change this background that I'm currently using to the same space background that we have on that other slide, or preset rather, I should say. Okay, so now I am in space, and I told you earlier in the video there was something hiding over here. I'm going to drag it onto my screen here. And normally when you are opening your MiniCam, you're going to find this up at the top next to your main menu, right on the white bar up at the top. But I'm just going to put it here because I don't want it to have a little inception moment as it sees itself. What you can do is go to your little plus button. Just a second ago, I talked about zooming in to make my background fit. This is where I can do that. But another fun tool is this little flip button. I can use it and flip myself upside down. So I did it in this little square that we were talking about. But if I select myself, go back to my little flip button, now I am upside down on the screen. So if I raise my hands, ooh, it looks like I'm floating in space. And of course, I'm not the first person or only person to show tutorials like this. If you search on YouTube for MiniCam or MiniCam with VIP Kid, you'll see a lot of teachers who can explain these kind of things as well. So be sure to check out all of their videos if you're interested. So now I have myself floating in space, and of course I can just use my effects to do some fun things here. So I could potentially get an astronaut on the screen, or maybe if I wanted to, I might have to flip myself back before I use a face mask because MiniCam might not be able to find my face right there. There we go. So now I can have a little face mask for space if I want to. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with this picture-in-picture. You can also do this on your regular size videos, but it's sort of fun if you take yourself and flip yourself upside down, and then you can float anywhere you want to be. And of course, just pressing that same button again will flip you right side up. So it's pretty fun and easy to do. So I hope you have a lot of fun using picture-in-picture mode. You can, of course, add more than one picture-in-picture if you wanted to. So for example, if you want to have two tiny teachers on the screen, you would just right-click on the screen again, add another new layer, and then select your camera to bring yourself back again. And now I'm talking with two of me in the same preset. And again, I would just follow the same steps I always do to change my chroma key to a transparent background. And then I can have two teachers in space, and I can even have one teacher floating upside down. Let's do that. And one teacher not floating upside down. So you can have a lot of fun with your students. If they're not listening or paying attention, occasionally flip yourself upside down and just watch their reaction. It's a lot of fun. Of course, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a great day teaching, and I'll see you later. Bye.